The realm of the internet has undergone a remarkable evolution since its inception, with creepypastas serving as a seminal subgenre that laid the foundation for a new era of online frights. Creepypastas, originating from the early days of the internet, captivated the audience with its unsettling narratives and urban legends. In this video, we explore the dark history of creepypastas, its influences on mainstream media, the evolution of the genre, and its enduring legacy in shaping the landscape of internet horror. This is the evolution of creepypastas and online horror. Boo! It's a job application. The sight of a job application is what scares me in my older age. But when I was younger, when I was about 10-11 years old, the thing that scared me the most was Jeff the Killer and Slender Man. From Slender Man to now possibly the most popular creepypasta ever, the Backrooms. It's been a very interesting and intricate evolution from how it went from Slender Man to the Backrooms, from Sonic.exe to the Walton Files to analogue horror. It's quite interesting how the horror landscape of YouTube has actually changed and morphed into something completely different. What started off as Ted the Caver's adventure are now more intricate and well-told stories of the Backroom, or the alternates of the Mandela catalogue. The evolution of internet horror and creepypastas is something that has fascinated me for a long time, and in this video we'll go over the evolution of internet horror and how it went from Slender Man and Ted the Caver to what it is today. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. That really helps the channel. Also, make sure to enjoy the video. With the advent of the internet, an unmoderated platform arose that allowed for the proliferation of unsettling stories and content. The early origins of creepypastas can be traced back to the spam emails and chain letters. A chain letter is a message that attempts to convince the recipient to make several copies and pass them on to a certain number of recipients. The chain is a growing pyramid. The oldest known channel for chain letters is written or printed on letters or papers. These might be exchanged hand to hand or distributed through the mail. One notorious early example was the Prosperity Club or Send a Dime letter. This letter started in Denver, Colorado in 1935 based on an early lock letter. It soon swamped the Denver post office with hundreds of thousands of letters before spilling into St. Louis and other cities. However, it's the story of Ted the Caver, posted online in 2001, that is widely regarded as the first official creepypasta. It was the late 1990s, a time when the internet was still in its infancy. In the small corners of cyberspace, a man named Ted stumbled upon a website dedicated to cave exploration. Intrigued by the unknown depths of the earth, Ted decided to document his journeys and share it with the world. Ed's website, aptly named Ted's Caving Page, became a portal to his descent into darkness. Through diary entries accompanied by haunting photographs, he chronicled his experience exploring an uncharted cave system. Ed's writing style struck a chord with readers as he masterfully combined the suspense of a horror novel with the authenticity of a personal account. His words drew people in, transporting them into the eerie underground realms he ventured into. As Ted delved deeper into the cave, he encountered unsettling phenomena, unexplained noises, ominous messages etched on the walls, and inexplicable rock formations. Each diary entry intensified the sense of foreboding, as readers couldn't help but immerse themselves in Ted's nightmarish journeys. The popularity of Ted's Caving Page grew rapidly, attracting a community of avid followers. People began speculating about the nature of the caves, its hidden secrets, and the implications of Ted's discoveries. The story took a life of its own, spreading through forums and chat rooms, enticing readers across the internet. Ted the Caver became a cultural phenomenon. It transcended the confines of his original website, inspiring countless fan creations. From artwork and music to short films and adaptation, the story seeped into the collective consciousness, leaving an indelible mark on the internet horror landscape, setting the stage for a genre that would grow exponentially over the next decade. And with Ted the Caver, a new genre was born. One of the most significant developments in the creepypasta subgenre was the creation of Slender Man. The Slender Man, also known as Slender Man, emerged from the depths of online forums in the early 2010s, a tall, faceless figure in a black suit with elongated limbs and the ability to manipulate his appendages at will. His origins can be traced back to the paranormal Photoshop contest on a website called Something Awful. The contest challenged users to create paranormal images that appeared authentic. One user, going by the name Victor Surge, posted two eerie photographs featuring children and a tall, thin figure in the background. Accompanying the images were disturbing captions that mentioned a figure known as the Slender Man. The image quickly went viral, capturing the imagination of internet users. The concept of the Slender Man took a life of its own, and as more people contributed to the mythos, creating stories, artworks, and videos surrounding the enigmatic entity, the legend of Slender Man spread like wildfire, dripping into mainstream culture and becoming a staple of internet folklore. It was believed that that he had the ability to manipulate minds, erase memories, and kidnap children. His presence was often associated with sightings in desolate forests and abandoned places, preying on unsuspecting victims who dared to delve into the unknown. Witnesses claimed to hear inexplicable whispers and experience a feeling of being watched, with their sanity slipping away under the weight of his influence. As he tormented the depths of the internet, he slowly seeped into mainstream culture, having his presence expanded into games, most notably in the indie hit Slender, the 8 pages. The game adopts a first-person perspective, casting players into the role of an unnamed protagonist who must navigate a dark and foreboding forest. Armed solely with a flashlight, the player's objective is to collect 8 pages scattered through the environment while evading the grasp of Slender Man. The game relies on a sense of tension and fear building as players traverse the eerie woods, creating an atmosphere of relentless dread. The inclusion of audio cues such as the sound of the protagonist's quickened breath when near the Slender Man amplifies the psychological impact, heightening the player's anxiety. The story of the game is intentionally sparse, leaving a lot to the player's imagination. The game embraces the concept of the found footage genre, employing an air of mystery and uncertainty. As the player collects more pages, the atmosphere becomes increasingly oppressive, with Slender Man growing closer and more aggressive. But as the popularity of Slender Man grew, so did the stories associated with him. Creepypastas and short horror stories shared online further expanded the mythos, weaving intricate tales of encounters with Slender Man and exploring his unnerving abilities. But Slender Man's influence reached beyond the realms of fiction. In a tragic turn of events, the legend took a disturbing and real-life turn. In 2014, 2 young girls attempted to murder a classmate, claiming they were trying to please the Slender Man. This resulted in people questioning the safeness of creepypastas and the impact of internet stories on vulnerable individuals. But before Slender Man, there were other more obscure pastas. The more notable one was Squidwards, that released in 2008. In the story, the narrator recounts their experience as an intern at Nickelodeon Studio in 2005. They explained that they had an opportunity to view episodes before they aired. One day, while watching an episode titled Fear of a Krabby Patty, they noticed an unusual title card that read Squidwards. Initially, they assumed it was a morbid joke. However, as they continued watching, they noticed several unsettling elements and anomalies. During Squidward's concert in the episode, the crowd begins booing him in a more malicious manner than usual. The viewer also notices that the character's eyes become hyper-realistic and have red pupils. Later, when Squidward was alone in his room, there is complete silence and he begins sobbing. The sound slowly returns, accompanied by a breeze-like noise and faint laughter. The scene becomes more disturbing as the animation glitches, showing frames of disturbing images. Eventually, Squidward is shown holding a shotgun, leading to him unaliving himself in a graphic and realistic manner. The episode ends with his lifeless body lying on the bed. Alongside Slender Man was Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer was first introduced in 2008 on the entertainment website Newgrounds by the user Killer Jeff, but later gained mass popularity in mid-2010 with the release of this photo. The image of Jeff with his haunting grin became the defining visual representation of the character. His grin was maniacal, stretching from ear to ear. His eyes were completely dark with a sunken socket. Jeff's pale complexion gives him an eerie and ghostly aura. His face was disfigured with a psychotic expression. Jeff's story transcended the digital realm, seeping into other forms of media. Fanfiction, spin-off stories, and even merchandise flooded the online market, fueling the fascination surrounding this disturbing character. Creepypasta spread through online platforms. It began multiplying like a digital virus. Characters like Jeff the Killer and Slender Man paved the way for the emergence of creepypastas. These stories blurred the line between facts and fiction, with some even claiming they were based on real events. Creepypastas encompass various subgenres, including lost episodes and haunted video games, which captured audiences with their eerie tales. The influence of these stories extended into the world of gaming, where fans created adaptations that brought these creepypasta narratives to life. Games like Sonic.exe and Slender the 8 pages became significant touchstones for the creepypasta community, attracting wider attention through popular YouTube playthroughs. The creepypasta story of Sonic.exe revolves around a supposedly haunted and cursed version of the popular video game character Sonic the Hedgehog. It originated as a fan-made tale and quickly gained popularity among fans of horror and gaming. The story begins with a user named Tom receiving a mysterious package containing a CD labeled Sonic.exe. Intrigued, he decides to play the game, unaware of the horrors that await him. As Tom starts the game, he notices eerie changes such as distorted music, unsettling graphics, and disturbing imagery. Sonic, the protagonist of the game, had a twisted and demonic appearance with blood-red eyes. Throughout the gameplay, and Tom encounters unsettling messages directly addressing him, including threats and personal information only he would know. The game seems to possess a malevolent intelligence taunting Tom and breaking the fourth wall. Sonic.exe's goal becomes apparent: to drive Tom to madness and eventually causing his demise. As Tom progresses through the game, he encounters Sonic's previous victims, who appears as twisted and disturbing version of the beloved characters from the Sonic franchise. Their souls are trapped within the game, forever tormented by Sonic.exe. The story reaches its climax as Tom's computer becomes increasingly corrupted and he himself is consumed by fear and paranoia. The tale ends with Tom's gruesome demise, leaving readers uneasy. The game typically features modified graphics and eerie sound effects designed to create a terrifying atmosphere. The gameplay is intentionally glitchy and disturbing, incorporating unsettling elements like distorted music, blood, and disturbing images. Players are often subjected to jump scares and unexpected events that aim to shock and frighten them. But as the internet saw further evolution, so did the medium of horror storytelling. YouTube became a breeding ground for horror enthusiasts who eagerly shared their own narrations of creepypastas and horror-themed channels. Some even produced short films based on these tales, and others produced gameplays of these creepypasta games. The accessibility of video content allowed for a more immersive experience, captivating viewers with eerie visuals and spine-chilling sound design. Analogue horror could be regarded as a form or a descendant of creepypasta legends. The subgenre is typically cited as originating from late 2000s to late 2010s internet, mostly YouTube videos, specifically from Stephen Chamberlain's No Through Road in January 2009. And gaining substantial popularity with the release of Chris Straub's Local 58 in October 2015, which is a series of YouTube videos presented as authentic videotape footage of a television station that is continuously hijacked over the course of several decades. While there is no main plot in this series, episodes include messages related to looking at the moon or the night sky, and this series, which would quickly become successful, would later inspire other works such as the Mandela Catalogue. The Mandela Catalogue is a YouTube series created by 18-year-old Alex Kiester in 2021. It's set in the fictional Mandela County in Wisconsin in the 1990s, which is threatened by the presence of alternates or doppelgangers who coerce the victims to take their own lives and can manipulate audio-visual mediums. The Mandela Catalogue became popular online through analysis and reaction videos. Similar to the Mandela Catalogue, Local 58 also inspired the Walton Files. The Walton Files is an animated YouTube series partially inspired by the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, created by Martin Walls. It's presented as found footage from the fictional restaurant Bond's Burgers, which featured animatronic entertainment and is produced by the fictitious Bonnie Smiles company. On May 12, 2019, an anonymous user posted a thread on the X 4chan paranormal themed board, asking users to post disquieting images that just feel off. One of the posts was the original photo of the backrooms, a picture of a large carpeted open room with yellow wallpaper and fluorescent lighting on a Dutch angle. It was a place outside of reality, which if you're not careful, you could sort of slip into or no clip. Days after the original creepypasta, users began to share stories about the backrooms on subreddits such as r creepypasta and later our backrooms. A fandom began to develop around the backrooms, and creators began to expand on the original iteration of the creepypasta by creating additional floors or levels and entities which populate them. Happy Mag noted two other levels. Level 1, a level with industrial architecture, and Level 2, a darkly lit level with long service tunnels, with the original version named Level 0. In January 2022, a short horror film titled The Backroom found footage was uploaded on YouTube, created by then 16-year-old Kane Parsons of Northern California, known online as Kane Pixels. It's presented as a VHS tape recorded by a filmmaker who accidentally enters the backroom in the 1990s and is pursued by a monster.